Hello everyone, and welcome to this video where I will be talking about what does the future hold for cloud computing. Nowadays, this has become a buzzword for every one of us. What is cloud computing? So, in the last few years, we have seen explosive growth in the use of cloud technology. So, in this particular video, I'm going to tell you about cloud computing and about the career track which you should opt in cloud computing. So let's get started. So just a brief about me. My name is Vipul Jain. I have 10 years of experience in SharePoint, Office 365 and Microsoft Azure. I am working as a SharePoint architect and a technical project manager. And you can see on the screen, these are some of my credentials from where you can connect with me. Okay, so if I talk about 10 years ago, what was the scenario in terms of cloud computing? So there was slow cloud adoption for the organizations. The organizations and companies, they were not ready to go towards cloud computing because of some insecurity, and there was some lack of cloud knowledge and skills in the market. But if I talk about the present day, there is a complete shift, a drastic shift of change of mindset has occurred. The cloud understanding and its benefit are fully understood by the people now, and they have confidence over the cloud computing in terms of security. Now, if I talk about the future now, that is moving forward, there will be a great choice of cloud services being made available. And as you can see on the screen, these are the three big vendors of cloud computing. One is AWS, another is Microsoft Azure, and another is Google Cloud. Now let's talk about first what are the challenges with on-premise computing as compared to cloud computing. So this is a traditional way of computing, you can say, where you require hardware, you need a space, you need electricity, you need a cooling mechanisms. So all these stuff needs to be managed by you. At the same time, in terms of software, you need an operating system, you need a softwares, applications, and regular updates of those applications and software to get them up and running. The other challenge and the most important challenge with on-premise computing is related to cost, software licensing. So this is one of the biggest problems with on-premise computing. Now comes the scalability. If you want to scale your environment or you want to add new servers, so this is again very much a challenging task when it comes to on-premise computing, because everything you need to manage, you have to purchase a server, there is a process of procurement, then you have to provision them. So it becomes a very tedious task. Now comes the cloud computing. So what is cloud computing? What is a simple definition of a cloud computing? So we can say that cloud computing is on-demand availability of computer system resources, especially data storage and computing power, without direct active management by the user. So there is no involvement of the users, only the vendors of cloud computing are providing you the services. In other words, what we can say is the cloud computing is a network of remote servers. Let me repeat this. Cloud computing is a network of remote servers hosted on the internet to store, manage, and process your data. So let me repeat the simple definition once again for you guys. Cloud computing is a network of remote servers hosted on the internet to store, manage, and process your data. I believe this is the most simple definitions which I can give to you. Please remember, cloud computing is a network of remote servers which is available through internet or which is available on internet, which helps you in processing your data and storing and managing as well. So why consider the cloud? Why you need cloud and what benefits or advantages it is giving to you? So first and foremost is the speed. By speed, what I meant is that with minutes instead of weeks or spending days to procure and provision your servers, the pace of innovation has dramatically increased. So in very less time, you can do all your IT related stuff. Now second is scale. Now what is meant by scale? Scale I meant is by scalability. So cloud gives you an almost infinite set of computing resources. Your application can be scaled globally, and you can even scale it up or down based on your demand. So no worries now with the cloud computing for running out of capacity or over provisioning. The third one, and the most important one, I believe, is the economics for all the organization out there. So by economics and by the cost factor, what I meant is that you have to pay only what you are using in the cloud. If you are not using that service, if you are not using that resource in the cloud, then you don't have to pay for it. And this saves you your money a lot, actually. So these are some of the benefits you can save for considering the cloud. So in nutshell, I can say that these cloud services, these are available through a well-defined interface. So they provide you a user-friendly and well-defined interface. All these vendors, whether it's Microsoft Azure or Amazon AWS or Google Cloud, and they're available everywhere, and it scales on demand. They're reliable, secure, and they help in network virtualization. And at the same time, you have to pay for what you are using. So these are some of the greatest benefits, I can say. Now, again, these are some of the other benefits of moving towards the cloud. So they have the potential to cut your operational and technology costs, because all the softwares, all the services, applications, and operating system, they are managed by these very big vendors. They get up and running quickly and easily. So downtime and all these kind of related stuff is managed by these vendors. They give people the tools to be productive. So they provide you softwares, they provide you applications, so that the people in your organization can be more productive as compared to before. Now, these are some of the cloud services which might be you already know. So we have talked about the on-premise. Now IaaS, infrastructure as a service, PaaS, platform as a service, and SaaS is software as a service. So you can see some of them are marked in sky blue color and some of them are marked in orange color. By sky blue color, if you see in on-premise computing, you have to manage everything. So by that, what I meant is the applications, data, operating systems, servers, storage, networking, all these things needs to be managed by you. But when it comes to IaaS, you see half of them are managed by you and half of the others are managed by your vendors. So other manages for you, other people manages for you. But when it comes to SaaS nowadays, you see software as a service. Everything others are managing for you. You don't have to manage anything in your environment, and that is, I believe, the biggest advantage of software as a service nowadays. Now you can see these are the common examples of IaaS, PaaS, and SaaS. IaaS stands for infrastructure as a service, and examples you can say DigitalOcean, Magento, and Enterprise Editions, and so on. If I talk about SaaS, software as a service, now all the Google apps, Salesforce, Dropbox, Zendesk, DocuSign, Slack, HubSpot, even your Gmail app, they all comes under the SaaS category. That is software as a service. So moving forward, what are the different types of cloud? How many types of cloud are there? So basically, I have distinguished them into 4 categories: private, public, community, and hybrid. So what is a private cloud? So private cloud means it is hosting all your computing infrastructure yourself and is not shared. So private means it belongs to you. It is not shared with other people or other organization or other community. If I talk about a public cloud, so while computing infrastructure is located on the premises of a cloud computing company that offers the cloud service, which means that it is shared among different companies. Community cloud is again shared between different organizations, but they have a common goal to achieve, to fit into a specific community. Now what is hybrid? Hybrid is just a combination of both private and the public cloud. So these are the types of cloud which you should know. Okay, now this is very good and very interesting slide, that the customers which are using Microsoft Azure across the globe, across the world. So be it entertainment industry or the marketing sector, or be it any industry, cloud computing is providing better and I will say innovative ways to deliver better content and services to the audience. and we all know that we are all are using it. In fact, the leaders of the cloud computing like Azure or AWS, they are offering compilation of cutting edge technologies, and they are providing you with the advanced solutions, I believe. So, be it from machine learning and deep learning to artificial intelligence or cognitive services or cognitive technology, the cloud market is rapidly growing and speedily expanding, which you can see on the screen that the major leaders, Adobe, British Petroleum, Audi, HP, BMW, and many more. These are some of the examples which I have listed on the slide. But yes, there are many more customers or organizations, very big organizations, they are using Microsoft Azure and other cloud computing vendors. So you can see and you can imagine that how important is Microsoft Azure or Amazon AWS or generically cloud computing nowadays. Now, this is the most important slide which I wanted to show you in this particular video. Being you are a fresher, if you are fresher or an experienced person, this slide will definitely going to help you. So this slide is telling you about your career path, how you can become a cloud engineer or how can you become a cloud architect. So this is the complete path, it's stepwise path you can see on the screen, which starts from that you have to learn first Linux fundamentals. Then you have to learn some programming scripting language, be it Python. Python nowadays is very famous, I will say. You should learn Python. So programming scripting languages, database and storage, you have to learn whether it's NoSQL or any RDBMS. Then you have to learn one cloud platform, either Microsoft Azure or Amazon AWS. Then you have to learn cloud automation tool, which is the fifth step in becoming the cloud engineer. And finally, you have to learn containers. So Azure, Kubernetes or Docker, then you will become the cloud engineer. So these are the 6 steps which you have to learn to become a cloud engineer. Once you become the cloud engineer, then there is a different path. You have to learn other concepts or advanced concepts. Then cloud migration methods you have to learn. You have to become an architect. You need to become a cloud architect from an engineer, where your journey ends specifically. So in relation to this slide, I just want to show you one of the very famous newspaper headlines as well, which says that India to see over 1 million cloud computing job roles by 2022. So this is very important, very important to understand that how cloud computing is very much important to learn nowadays and how it is going to affect our lives. And this is the future, I will say. This is the future. By 2020, 1 million jobs will be there in cloud computing. Please imagine that how much the cloud computing market is growing, and it is rapidly growing and speedily expanding. So thank you very much. That's all from my side in this video.